Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Howza Life.
The show where we show you
what Howza Life is really like
in the Holy City of Qom.
Howza students living here in the Holy City of Qom.
This is my husband, Muzaffer.
This is my wife, Syeda Fatima.
Where are our kids?
And where are the kids?
Yay.
Here's one kid. Aya.
Zainab.
Aya.
Can you stop? She's Zainab.
Aya, like an ayah of the Quran.
Aya, do you know
it means sign.
Do you know
I'm telling you this so much.
It's when I told someone her name is Aya, they're like, what? Aya? I'm like, listen, Aya, Ayat, Aya.
It's a beautiful name.
It's
so
beautiful.
Is Zainab. Okay, anyway.
Forget it. It's Zainab, guys.
It's Aya.
I'm the mother.
I'm the father.
I'm the mother. I give
You know,
birth to
it's
her.
the right of the child upon the father that he gives them a good name.
End of discussion. I'm sounding like one of the feminists.
Where are the other kids? We found a babysitter.
No, we didn't. It's one of the sister who works here. So we were filming something with them, and then we were like, "Oh, can you look after them?" And she's such a sweet sister. She's like, "Yes, I'll
Sister
do
Huda.
it."
She's got her own videos.
Yeah. You guys know her.
Creating her own videos
And the
as well.
kids love her. The kids love her.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
I mean, Musa doesn't stay with everyone.
Yeah, I know.
It's shocking. I'm
Look,
just like,
it's a miracle. Let's just not jinx it right now.
Let's just do it fast.
So, alhamdulillah, what's new? What's new? What do we talk about? I've been going through stress. Like, it's been the most stressful period of my life.
The Azemoon.
No exaggeration, yeah.
Talking about the Azemoon, okay.
At the end of your Kar Shinasi, which is your bachelor's degree, you're going to have to endure something which is called the Azemoon, which is basically a huge exam that you have to give at the end. Guys, if you get there, you need to retain all of that knowledge because the Azemoon is actually going to be based on all the things that you've been studying for the past 5 to 6 years. Now, if you can try and imagine that, everything that you've been studying for the last 5 to 6 years, whether it's Aqa'id, Usool Fiqh, Fiqh itself, Sarf, Nahw, all of that is accumulated into one exam, which basically blows your mind.
So this exam of Muzaffar's, oh my God. Do you know what I've been telling people? Muzaffar was writing the exam, but it felt like I was writing the exam as well.
Syeda has been such a massive help. But let me just quickly say this. You make the comparison between the MCAT and medicine.
No,
and
it's
stuff.
really hard. No, the people can relate because they're like, what is Azemoon? So I can give a little, it's like an example, like that's what.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there can be a comparison because like medicine is such a huge subject.
Okay.
I wanted to add though that, look, there are doctors studying in the Howza, there are engineers, like my best friend is an engineer, and other brothers out there, they're professionals, they've actually gone through the secular education system, and you know, some of them have doctorates, and they still find the Howza studies hard. And I know I've said this previously, but I just wanted to emphasize that as well. It's very difficult. Syeda, you okay, baby? What's wrong? We're trying to talk here.
To talk. Kids were just going crazy, thinking that there's no Muzaffar around. So the thing is, they knew Muzaffar was in the house, in a room, closed door, and he's studying. So that's what made it worse. Because you know the kids know you're home.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, he's home, but why can't we talk to him? And every second, like Doha, the older one, she's like, Daddy, do you want something? Daddy, can you come out? Daddy, this, that. And it's like...
I just can't explain it. I can't put it into words. You get 2 attempts to complete your Azemoon and to pass it. If you fail both times, basically they say, bye-bye. You're not good enough for the Howza. Go back to your country, right? And I have already not failed the first time, but I just didn't take it.
Because of the kids and pregnancy, I think
there were loads of things going on, right? I didn't know when it was, what I'm supposed to prepare, that's one thing you need to learn about the Howza. When you're here, you can't really rely on anyone to know your way around, to know what's happening. You need to really like do it yourself. You need to go to the offices. Oh, okay, yes.
15 days before. The exam is in 15 days, and our whole family gets so sick. Like me, Doha, Musa, Zainab, Muzaffer, all of us, high fever. every other day, fever, coughing, cold, headache, body ache. Oh my God, it was really bad.
And it was the type of temperature that really makes you afraid. And then you're even more afraid to take them to the doctor because you're like, can I step outside?
No, with three kids, it's really hard. Like, who are you gonna take care of? We ourselves are so sick. We wouldn't be able to take care of the kids, and we didn't meet anyone. But I just want to say this: Alhamdulillah, me and Muzaffer are people who are very careful when we get sick. We don't meet people. Some people are so careless. I'm gonna say this. Sorry, I'm gonna say it. A lot of people, they're careless, and it really makes me angry, and I think it makes Muzaffer angry. When you are sick, listen, it's my advice to you guys. Don't meet people, don't get other people sick. It's not just corona, but when you're generally sick, isn't a general ruling that don't go out and meet people and get them sick?
I think people have forgotten. Back in the day when corona didn't even exist.
When you're generally sick, you're not supposed to go out, meet people, hug people and get them sicker. You're supposed to stay at home, rest until the initial days of your sickness have gone.
You're not brave for doing that. Thank you. Because of you, I got sick, really sick, and my whole family got sick 15 days before the exam.
That was horrible.
That was horrible. But anyway, so yeah, I got sick. Okay, then it got to 2 days before the exam. Then what happened? I ring my friend, brother Anthony.
So funny.
He's a good brother. He came from, he used to be a Christian, so he came from a Christian background. And now he became a Muslim, and then he joined the Howza. Yeah, look at the journey.
He tells Muzaffer you have to register for it.
Yeah, and then he says, there's a practice exam tomorrow, and you can come too. Just bring along the receipt, the 50 Toman receipt. And I was like, what 50 Toman receipt? And then he says, if you haven't paid 50 Tomans, it means you're not registered. And I was just like, thank you for that. And I hung up the phone. I'm not making this up. I collapsed on the floor. I didn't faint, but I just kind of...
Do you know when you give up on life?
I gave up on everything. The door was locked, so she couldn't see me. It would be horrible.
Hear him. I could hear some stuff happening. I was like, what was he doing? Like, I think it was Fajr time, was it? Before Fajr.
I can't remember what time it was.
I just ignored. I was too tired. I was like, okay, fine. Just go through your face.
I was just literally on the floor, sobbing like a baby. Thank God you didn't see me in that condition. Otherwise, you would have not had any respect for me. But I was just sobbing like a baby because I was like, I can't, Ya Allah, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. Okay, so some power just picked me up from the ground because I have no other choice. I have to pass the exam now. Otherwise, my whole life will be in jeopardy. And when I say that, I'm not saying it as an exaggeration, guys. Literally, for those of you who know our condition and our situation, not to go into any details, literally my life would be finished. So some force just picked me up and said, you have no choice but to carry on going. And so then I had to run to the madrasa. I had to go to Al-Mustafa, Al-Mustafa International. I had to go and chase people down. Imagine, this is a day before the exam. And literally, I am just running around trying to go to these different offices, trying to get everything sorted. I finally get to this one office. They say to meet me in another place, so then I go to that place, then they tell me to meet me. It's always like this, just going this way and that way, this way and that way. Finally, I got like hold of somebody. Okay, so thank God, Alhamdulillah, it worked out and they allowed me to take the exam. The day of the exam came and going into that hall was so scary.
It's a Qiyamah day.
And get this, right? The teacher goes up there to give like it's a big hall, by the way, like around 500 students come in, brothers and sisters, and they were all in that hall and every one of them were like silent. They knew that this was a big day, and one of the teachers, he goes up there and he gives a 5-minute speech, and within that speech he recites a verse of the Quran in which Allah basically says that, look, you're either going to be shaheed or you're going to have victory.
Wow.
And that's a really inspiring and beautiful ayah of the Quran. Usually. But when you hear that before an exam and the teacher is basically implying that, look, don't worry, you're either going to die doing this exam and completely fail, or you're going to succeed. It doesn't help. It's just like, okay, I got to admit though, for some strange reason, it did help when he said that. And that's not the end of it, by the way. I still have to give a Shifai exam after that, which is basically even more nerve-wracking because you have to go to the madrasa that you want to study in. So for me, I want to go to Madrasa Imam Khomeini. And basically they have a really cool course on Quran and Tafseer and Ahadith. I want to study that.
So you're going to be a major? What is it called?
It's going to be masters.
Masters.
Right, masters. So, but anyway, the Shifai is basically you're going to be sitting in front of a board of the faculty in that madrasa, and like there's going to be 5-6 people, and they're going to be asking you questions, different types of questions about your background, who you are, why you want to study, what you want to study, as well as knowledge-based questions. So they're going to ask you questions. Me, for example.
Isn't that scarier though when like you're being asked like live?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's even more nerve-wracking.
Writing exam is like, okay, at least you're on your own. When they're asking, you're just like, I don't know.
I suppose
I don't know.
one advantage is you don't really need to prepare because they're going to be asking you all sorts of questions. There's no way you could possibly.
It's not as hard as the written exam. The written exam is the main part, but whatever his friends were telling that a lot of people have passed the written exam and failed the what do you say, oral exam?
Shifa, yeah, the oral exam.
The oral exam, like what happens if you fail the oral exam?
You have to take the Azemoon again.
Oh yeah, that's what he said. That is scary. Please don't.
To all my Howza brothers out there, all my Howzawi sisters out there, God bless you, Godspeed, may Allah be with you inshallah. If you do fail, never give up. If there's one thing I've learned from this experience, it is that you need to وَجَاهِدُ فِي اللَّهِ حَقَّ جِهَادِهِ, and do jihad in the way of Allah, the right that Allah deserves. Get back on your horse and keep going, because you have no idea
and
what
have
great
a wife like me, like who helps you so much.
Sisters,
all
support
I
your
did
husbands.
is made coffee, food, coffee, knock knock, coffee, knock knock, tea, knock knock, food, and then I just left him alone. I was like, I didn't even know. I didn't speak to him.
She is amazing.
I didn't speak to him
amazing.
for like
I
weeks.
don't know how
I
she
was
did
just
it.
like, salam, and he's like, I can't talk.
If I was asked to do that for one day, I would probably just become depressed or something. I think you did feel a little bit depressed.
No, I wasn't depressed. I was just like, okay, the way, like every time when you came out of the room, your facial expressions were so scary that I was just like,
what were my facial expressions?
you're just like, you're like on your phone. You're just like, I need food. Okay, bye. See you. You're like.
I remember that actually.
Your eyes were like, when they're just like you haven't slept, sleep deprived. You're just like.
I remember I used to just come out of the room like this.
Like
I wouldn't even see her or the kids.
every day he used to find out something really scary. He'd be like,
yeah,
registration, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, and he's just like,
the content as well that we're studying is just like, how am I supposed to know all this? For Sarf and Nahw, how am I supposed to memorize all of these rulings? It's impossible. Do I look like a textbook to you? So anyway, gave the exam, and you'll find out next time if I passed.
You know what? This Azemoon depends if we're gonna be able to live here or not, because we just don't want to leave. You know what? It's just pray for him. Inshallah, pray that he passes. And you know what? Even if you just get a passing mark, that's important. I think in this exam, you just have to pass. It doesn't have to be high level, low level, but just pass. Just pray for him, inshallah.
Yeah.
And that's all we have time for today.
This is my wife. No.
From my husband, Muzaffer Hyder.
From my wife, Syeda Fatima Ali.
We bid you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
پنجره فولاد تو دوای هرچی درده کسی ندیدم اینجا که نامید برگرده پنجره فولاد